Página 88. Las estaciones. El invierno, el verano, la primavera, el otoño. So this is a review. The following ones are going to be new. Los meses del año, the months of the year. Enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. Muy bien. So as you can see in el invierno, los meses son diciembre, enero, febrero. Then it follows by la primavera, marzo, abril, mayo. Then it comes el verano, right? Junio, julio, agosto. There's no particular reason why these are highlighted, by the way. El otoño, septiembre, octubre, noviembre. Very similar to English, but you still want to pay attention to the pronunciation. We don't capitalize the months of the year in Spanish. If you notice, they're not capitalized. ¿Cuál es la fecha de hoy? What is the date today? To talk about the dates in Spanish, use the phrase es, number, plus de, the word de, plus a month. For example, es 7, so we said the number, de of julio, es 7 de julio. It is the 7th of July. In English, we put first the month and we capitalize it, then we put the day. So July 7th. But in Spanish, we say first the day, then the month. The 7th of July. Muy bien. When referring to the first, use the word primero instead of uno. So we're not going to say the number uno, but we're going to say first. Es primero de marzo. Primero. See that? Instead of es uno de marzo, that would be incorrect. It is the 1st of March. Or like we say, March 1st. Similar to English. Los días de la semana. Then we don't capitalize the days of the week either in Spanish. Our week starts with Monday, lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. So they're all masculine. So when I refer to them, I would use the definite article masculine. To make it plural, you just use the definite article in plural. Los lunes, los martes, because you notice that the ending is already plural. Los miércoles, los jueves, los viernes. Now, sábado is not plural, so it's gonna need a change. Los sábados. Yes, we added an S. And obviously for domingo, to make it plural, we're gonna have to say los domingos. So this is technically how you would, the equivalent to say on Monday, on Tuesday, so forth. And this would be on Mondays, plural, on Tuesdays, etc. Still en página 88. ¿Qué día es hoy? What day of the week is it? To talk about the day of the week, use the following expressions. Hoy is today. Es miércoles. Today is Wednesday. Notice again, I'm going to point it out. The days of the week are not capitalized either in Spanish. La Navidad, el Año Nuevo, el día feriado. So as you can see, día feriado refers to these. Cumpleaños. And here we have a few more words. So we have I'm just going to go over through the vocabulario since some of the words were not in images. Ahora, now, el año nuevo, el cumpleaños, el día feriado, la fecha, el fin de semana, weekend, hoy, today, mañana, tomorrow, la medianoche. You will see it soon when we do the time. Midnight, el mediodía, noon, la Navidad, Christmas, por la mañana, in the morning, por la noche, in the evening, por la tarde, in the afternoon, terminar, to end, todos los días, every day. Muy bien. Pronunciación. Ten cuidado con la pronunciación de estas palabras. So, pronunciation is hoy, el cumpleaños. You can see the phonetic pronunciation on the right. This is jueves, mañana. Muy bien. Página 28. Puntos especiales. To say that something happens on a certain day of the week, say los followed by the plural form of the day, which I kind of went over that earlier. Mi hermana practica deportes los sábados. My sister practices sports on, so the equivalent to on is going to be los, if you're referring to plural Saturdays. Muy bien. If it was singular, you would just say, mi hermana practica deportes el sábado, on Saturday. Muy bien. ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? We're going to learn to tell time. ¿Qué hora es? So we see that looks like the shorthand is on the 1 and the longhand on 12. Es la una. Very simple. So we say for it is, we just use the verb es, ser, es, because it's singular. Now all the hours are feminine. So notice that I didn't say es el uno, I say es la una. It is one. Okay? And it's singular, the verb, because it's just the 1 hour, not plural. Now, ¿qué hora es? Son, notice that the verb now changed to plural. It is, but we have to agree because it's more than 1 o'clock. Son las dos. Again, feminine, plural. Son las dos. Muy bien. ¿Qué hora es? So by now you probably get the gist of it. Son las tres. Again, feminine. And we say las because it's more than the 1 hour. It's 3, right? We have to keep the verb in plural. Son las tres. ¿Qué hora es? Looks like it's 1:10, right? The shorthand is past 1 and it's the longhand on the 10. So, es la una. So again, if you're referring to the 1 hour, you're going to keep it in the verb in singular. Es la, not plural, una. And this word means and. So it's 1 and 10, right? Es la 1:10. Muy bien. Let's look at the next one. ¿Qué hora es? So it looks like it's 3:15. So the shorthand is past 3 and the longhand to show the minutes is on 15. So we know it's 3:15. Son las tres, because it's 3. Son las 3:15. Okay, so the reason why it's showing that is because if you think about a circle, okay, and you divide it in half and you divide it in quarters, right? If you think of pie or a pizza, so if you eat 1/4 of the pizza or pie, you have, it's the same concept in as far as time. So it's a quarter right? Cuarto past that hour. So, cuarto. Son las 3:15. Don't forget the word and. Y. Muy bien. ¿Qué hora es? So we can tell the shorthand is a little past 4, not quite 5. So it's 4:30. Son las 4, because it's 4. Son las 4:30. Again, the same concept if we were showing the pie and we already have used half of the pie, we have eaten half of the pie, then that would be half. So the word media is equivalent to half. So I would say it's son las 4, it's 4 and a half, if I want to translate kind of literally, but son las 4:30. Okay? Muy bien. So we said here would be cuarto. Here is media. ¿Qué hora es? So we see that it's past 5, so it's 5, and there's, so 5:40, or we can say in English 20 till 6, so 20 minutes until 6. That's the concept we're going to use to do it in Spanish. So in this case, son las 6 menos 20. So you're still saying the hour, and you say in plural, son las 6. Now instead of saying and, because you're not adding numbers here, the hour, the minutes here, you're going to subtract them. So menos, think about the word minus. And then how many minutes till the next hour. So you're going to the nearest hour, which is 6, and then subtracting menos, minus 20, the minutes, okay? So you have here where you're going to say menos. So once you passed the half, so here you say y media and a half, right? Then you're having, you here, when you're adding the numbers, you're saying y, because you're saying and. Here you're going to say menos, okay? And then one more recap. When you get to here, when we do this, again, the concept of the pie, this part is called cuarto, quarter. This is media for half. This is still going to be cuarto because it's still quarter, but we're going to say menos cuarto because we're subtracting. Okay? Muy bien. So we're going to move to the next one. ¿Qué hora es? So it looks like it is 7 on the dot. Son las 7 en punto on the dot. En punto means o'clock on the dot. The next, ¿qué hora es? Okay, so again, so we're clear, the shorthand showing the hour is almost at 9, not quite. And the longhand showing the minutes, it's 5 minutes till 9. So in English you can say 8:55, but remember in Spanish we're going to use the other concept, which is 5 till 9. So there's 5 minutes until 9. So we're going to start with the 9, right? So when we say it, we're going to say son las 9, because we go to the nearest hour. Then we subtract the minutes, menos, and then how many minutes left? 5. Son las 9 menos 5. Muy bien. So now it looks like it is right at midnight. So we do have a word for midnight, and I think we did go over in the vocabulario. ¿Qué hora es? And we can say simply, es medianoche. Notice that media is femenino because noche is a feminine word. It's one word. Media, half, night. Medianoche. Mid, and then night. Midnight. Okay. And then the next one, ¿qué hora es? And it looks like it's also noon, right? So we would say we do have a concept for that. Es, just singular again, medio. Now it's not media, it's medio, midday. Mid, and then día is day, midday. It's midday, it's noon. Muy bien, one word again. So when we express the time in the morning for AM, we're gonna have to use expression. Okay, so it looks like it's past 1, it's 1:25. So 1:25, okay. And I wanna say it's AM because it could be 1:25 in the afternoon, but we wanna say it's 1:25 in the morning. So the way I'm going to express, the question is, ¿qué hora es? What time is it? Es la una. Again, when you say one, remember you have to keep the verb in singular. Es la una y and 25, 25. Now you're going to have to use the word de, of, okay? La mañana, of the morning, or in the morning. It flows better, but it's of the morning. Okay, so the next one, ¿qué hora es? And it's still AM. Son las 3. Son, plural now, because it's 3 o'clock. Las 3 de la mañana, of the morning. Muy bien. Let's go to the next one. We're still in AM. ¿Qué hora es? Looks like it's 6 in the morning. Son las 6. Again, verb plural, son las 6 de la mañana. Or 6 in the morning or of the morning, but you have to use this preposition de. Don't change it. 6 of the morning, in the morning. 6, it's still in the AM. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 11 because it's 11, right? And we have 11:30. Son las 11 y media. Again, remember, for this term is media. When you get to the 30, de la mañana, in the morning. Okay, now what about if it's PM? ¿Qué hora es? So it looks like it's 2 PM, right? Son las 2, and then we're going to change de, and then instead of la mañana, we're going to say la tarde, in the afternoon. It's 2 in the afternoon. PM, another time in the afternoon. ¿Qué hora es? It looks like it's 6 in the afternoon. Son las 6 de la tarde. La tarde for afternoon. ¿Qué hora es? It's 9 PM. So it's not going to be afternoon, but we say evening, right? So it's 9 in the evening. Son las 9 de, remember we still have to use that word, la noche, evening. Could be night, or noche means evening or night. So it's 9 in the evening. Okay, another time. So this we look like it's not 11, so it's not quite 11, but it's 10:45. Okay, so remember, we go to the nearest hour, which is going to be 11, so I have to say son las 11 for 11, menos, minus, and then because it's at that juncture that is like the quarter part, cuarto, minus quarter, menos cuarto, and then de la noche, in the evening or at night. It's 11, it's quarter till 11 at night. Okay, ¿qué hora es? So it looks like the shorthand is around 8. Obviously it's moving because it's gonna move towards 9, but it's 8. So this is 8:30. So I would say son las 8:30 de la noche. Muy bien. To say at what time something is done, use the preposition a. So we're not asking what time is it, but we're saying at what time something is happening. And the verb ser, okay? So the question, notice, is a little bit different in the sense that it says at. So this is at. ¿A qué hora tienes? What time? Obviously, you don't say in English at what time, but basically that would be the literal translation. At what time do you have English class? ¿A qué hora tienes la clase de inglés? Tengo la clase de inglés at, and then you say the time. Las 9. Notice I didn't say son las 9 because that would mean if I said son las 9, that would mean it is 9. But I'm saying I have English class at 9, las 9. This whole thing makes 9 because I have to use this definite article with a number. Las 9:30 at 9:30. Muy bien. To express that an event goes from a certain time to another specific time, use de, from, de las, because remember you gotta use this las to tell time, to, a, las, from, to. Okay, so trabajo, I work, de, from, las dos. Notice that I have to use this las definite article with a time, de las dos, a, 2, las 5, 5. So this is always goes together. De la tarde, in the afternoon. Muy bien. So this is going to be a practice for you on página 88. Give the day of the month or month that follows. So if I start with lunes, what would follow? Lunes, martes. Muy bien. And I'll let you do that for practice. So miércoles, what follows? Mayo, what month follows? And so forth. Okay, ejercicio 322, página 89. Completa las secuencias con la palabra que falta. Complete the following sequences with the missing word. Again, more practice for using the vocabulario, either months or days of the week. Enero, febrero, marzo, and then you would have to write in the word that is missing. Muy bien, that's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Make sure you do it. The next one, 3.24, entrevista. En parejas, túrnense para preguntar y responder las siguientes preguntas. Working with a partner, take turns asking and answering the following questions. Now you don't have a partner, but remember, you still have to practice and do this activity by yourself and do it out loud as if you were working with a partner. Okay, so you ask the question, ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? When is your birthday? And so you could answer, mi cumpleaños. So how I would answer this question is, for number one, mi cumpleaños is, I'm going to use el 8. I'm going to use a definite article right here before I say the number 8 de of mayo. It is the 8th of May. Okay, remember this is the order of how we say dates in Espanol. We put first the day and then the month. And you have to say el 8, el 5, el 4, so forth, de of. Y el cumpleaños de tu mejor amigo and the birthday of your best friend, I can say es el 20 de mayo. That just happens to be my best friend's birthday. Muy bien. Número 2. ¿Cuál es tu día feriado? Holiday. Favorito. So you look under vocabulario, and if it's not there, you can look it up and see how to say it in español. ¿En qué mes es? ¿Cuál es tu día feriado favorito? Is it Maybe la Navidad. La Navidad. Christmas, maybe. ¿En qué mes es? In what month is it? I would say it's in diciembre. Okay. Número 3. ¿Cuál es tu mes favorito? What is your favorite month? You write the answer. ¿Por qué? Why? 4. ¿Qué días tienes clases? What days do you have classes? ¿A qué hora? At what time es tu primera clase? Is your first class de la semana, of the week? ¿Trabajas? Do you work? ¿Qué días trabajas? What days do you work? ¿A qué hora? At what time trabajas normalmente? Do you usually work? So make sure you ask the questions and then you answer the questions as well. It's good practice for you, and it's also a way to be prepared in case you get called to answer any of these questions. Página 89. We have a few more activities. Trabaja con un compañero. Uno de ustedes va a usar el horario en esta página y el otro va a usar el horario en el apéndice B. Imaginen que estos son sus horarios y quieres encontrar una hora para estudiar juntos. So in English, work with a partner. One of you will use the schedule on this page and the other will use the schedule in Appendix B. Imagine that these are your schedules and that you want to find an hour to study together. So again, this is an activity you would be doing with a partner, but you don't have a partner, so you're going to work by yourself and you're going to do the rules of both. So appendix, the one activity on page 89 has one schedule because it's one student, and then the one on appendix B, which is this one, has a different schedule, and the goal is to find a common time in which you can meet. Okay, so let's look at the example of the questions. So estudiante 1, ¿qué hace los lunes a las 9 de la mañana? So it's asking, what do you do on Mondays at 9 in the morning? And estudiante 2 says, tomo una clase de economía. So that student takes a economics class. ¿Qué haces tú los martes a las 2 de la tarde? So since he's busy, he's asking for an alternate. ¿Qué haces tú el martes a las 2 de la tarde? So looking for 2 in the afternoon. Okay, so one thing you need to notice is that this is also, it's using the military time. So after 12:50, you see 13, which is 1 in the afternoon. So from 1 to 1:50, this would be 2 in the afternoon to 3:30, and so forth, 4 to 5:40. So one other thing that we do in Spanish is we use the military time also. So that way it's not confusing, since we have 24 hours in a day. Then there's no, sometimes there's no need of specifying if it's afternoon or evening, because the hour tells you exactly what time of the day it is. Okay, so go ahead and practice that. There's a little bit more practice here. Practica, say the times in Spanish. So how would you say this time? 8. So you would have to say son las 8. And it didn't tell you AM or PM, so you don't have to write de la mañana, de la tarde, de la noche, because it didn't give you AM or PM, just the time. Muy bien. And now I'd like you to do 2, 3, 4, 5 for practice. And say at what time you do the following. So desayunar, to eat breakfast. So what time do you eat breakfast? I don't know, maybe you eat at 8 o'clock or 8:30 more. I can also say desayuno. Okay, one or the other. So I cross this one out. I'm going to use desayuno. I eat breakfast at las 8:30. And if I want to be more specific, de la mañana. May not be necessary because it's breakfast, but for practice. What time? Tener clase de español. So what time do you have Spanish class? So you would say, tengo clase de español a las, right? A las, and you put the time. Mirar televisión, to watch TV. You would say, again, miro televisión a las, and then you put the time. Muy bien.